Cold Cases Unveiled. 2 stories of justice rediscovered. Cold cases. Files are left untouched for years, sometimes decades. Behind each one lies a story of unanswered questions, grieving families, and lives interrupted by violence. But some mysteries refuse to stay buried. Today, we bring you 2 haunting tales of justice delayed but never denied. Stories of persistence, breakthroughs, and the unyielding pursuit of truth. Case 1. The Silent Witness. In 1987, Mary Carpenter was a 32-year-old schoolteacher known for her kindness and dedication. She had no enemies, no secrets, just a quiet life filled with her students, her family, and her beloved dog, Daisy. But one night, Mary didn't come home. Hours turned into days. Her family called the police, but there were no leads. Days later, her car was found abandoned on an isolated stretch of road, with no signs of Mary. Inside, her purse was untouched, and her keys were still in the ignition. Mary's mother, who spoke to a reporter, then said, "She would never leave like this. Something terrible has happened. Please, if anyone knows anything, come forward." For weeks, search crews combed nearby forests and fields. The community came together, holding vigils and fundraisers. But with no evidence and no witnesses, the case grew cold. 37 years later, the truth finally emerged. While demolishing an abandoned warehouse, construction workers unearthed skeletal remains buried beneath the concrete. The discovery shocked the community, but identifying the remains was just the beginning. Advancements in forensic technology, unimaginable in the 1980s, allowed investigators to confirm the remains belonged to Mary Carpenter. But the real breakthrough came from a single item found in the grave, a locket Mary always wore. It contained DNA evidence, linking the crime to a man named Tom Willis. Willis was a loner, known for his temper and odd behavior. He had worked at the warehouse at the time of Mary's disappearance, but was never questioned. When brought in for interrogation, Willis initially denied everything. But after hours of questioning, he cracked. Willis to the detectives that she wouldn't stop yelling, I didn't mean to. It got out of hand." Willis admitted to abducting Mary after a heated argument at a local bar. In a fit of rage, he killed her and buried her under the warehouse, believing the site would never be disturbed. Mary's sister. "For years, we prayed for answers. Now we finally know what happened to her. It doesn't bring her back, but it gives us some peace." Case 2. The Girl in the Photograph. This photograph haunted investigators for nearly 50 years. In 1975, a man was struck and killed by a car on a remote highway in the Midwest. When police searched his wallet, they found no ID, no credit cards, just this photograph of a little girl. The man's identity remained a mystery. Police ran fingerprints, checked missing persons reports, and even circulated the photograph nationwide. But no one came forward. The man was buried in an unmarked grave, and the case was left to gather dust. Detective Harold Bryant, now retired, couldn't let the case go. On a whim, he posted the photograph on social media, hoping someone might recognize the girl. The post went viral, and within days, a lead emerged. An elderly woman in Florida reached out, claiming the girl in the photo was her sister, Emily Rose, who had vanished from a park in 1975. Emily was just 10 years old when she disappeared. The woman shared DNA with police, who matched it to the girl's remains found near the drifter's cabin decades earlier. Emily Rose had been abducted by the man, who had raised her in isolation until her tragic death. Emily's diary revealed her longing to escape and her confusion about the man she called her father. Forensic analysis confirmed the drifter was not her biological parent, but her abductor. "I always hoped she'd come home. Now she finally can." These stories remind us that time may obscure the truth, but it cannot erase it. With relentless dedication and the advancements of modern science, even the darkest mysteries can find resolution. For the families of Mary Carpenter and Emily Rose, justice though long overdue, has finally been served.